Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. So today I am testing out a new foundation. I ran out of my Tarte one yesterday, so I ran to the store and I picked up the Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation. I saw Casey Holmes talk about this in a video and she enjoyed it, so I figured I would give it a go. It was $12.99, so $13 at Target, and I believe you can only get Sonia Kashuk products at Target. I'm not sure. I will check for you. I did a first impression on review on their Luminous foundation. I did like it. It took me a while to get used to it, and it took my skin some adjusting because of my dryness. Certain foundations don't really work well. When my skin was good, it looked good. So I am a fan of their products, so I wanted to give this a go, and my skin is actually doing pretty okay right now. It's not great, it's not horrible, it's okay. And I figured because my rosacea is pretty bad today, like I have a lot of redness in my skin, this is a good time to try out a new foundation that will see if it covers that. And also I have an 8-hour shift at my job today. I'm back in retail for the holidays, and I thought that was the perfect day to also try out a new foundation because I'm going to be on the floor walking around in a hot store all day. I might get to do 1 or 2 touch-ups, but I'll really just have to let it wear and see how it looks at the end of the day. So it's the perfect time to try out a new foundation and see how it does in a really intense situation. So I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get right into the video. So starting out, I washed my face and put moisturizer on this morning. I used the Clinique Dramatically Different, I think it's called, moisturizer, and I really like it. So I'm going to do half of my face in a primer and half of my face not, just to see. And I'm also going to have my brush with me. I'm home for the weekend while I'm working, so I'm not with like my whole collection, so I'm not sure what I have and what I don't have. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Nivea Men's Sensitive Post Shave Balm and use that on this half of the face. I just realized I'm doing this without a mirror. It's sitting right in front of me, I just didn't open it. So I picked up the shade 01, which is Bisque. They didn't have 02, and you can't really tell in the packaging what the color is because I'm pretty sure, just like the other foundation I did, this isn't the actual foundation. This is like a painted thing. And it's a pump top, which I like. So let's see what the shade is. Okay, that looks like it could be my shade. I was worried when it said Bisque because Bisque usually means more of like a yellow tone. So I usually had for like if something says ivory. So we'll see. And I picked up a new Real Techniques Beauty Blender. So I'm going to be using that on this side, and then I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge on the other side of my face. Okay, so right off the bat, it's not really covering much. I have a vein right here that I like to try and get covered, and I still have redness on my cheeks, so I'm going to have to build this up a little bit and see if we can get these things covered. Alright, so it doesn't look like it's building up that much. I'm going to go ahead and do the other cheek using my Real Techniques brush and see if it might get more coverage that way. Okay, so I'm a little worried because my skin is like tingling and I can't tell if I'm having a reaction to it or not. I don't think I am, but that's worrying. It's really not building up, so this is going to be interesting. I think the brush is working even worse than the Beauty Blender. On the upside, it does look like my face shade, like when I went into the natural light. I feel like I'm using a lot of product though. So first impressions with this, I'm a little wary about how it's making my skin feel. There's like a tingling sensation happening, and I thought it might be with the primer, but it's happening on both sides of my face. I did have a little bit of weirdness when I put my moisturizer on this morning, so I'm wondering if it might be reacting with my skincare. So I'm going to let it settle and see how it reacts throughout the day. I just don't want to have a repeat of the skin debacle that I had back in May, but it doesn't look the way it did then. When that happened, I had red bumps almost immediately, so that's not happening, which is good. Aside from that, that's the negatives. And it did take a long time to build up. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be full coverage or not. I need to look and see. I have to find out because it's not telling me. But it did take a little while to build up and cover my redness, but it didn't build up and become cakey. It still looks like skin. It feels like it looks like my skin. It's not something sitting on top, which I do really like. I like the feel of it. It doesn't feel heavy on my skin, even though it feels like I put a lot on. It still feels light and not like I have something suffocating my skin. So, I think the best way to do this was with the Beauty Blender. It wasn't really making a difference with the brush, and I felt like I was getting more coverage with the Beauty Blender, even though the Beauty Blender did soak up a lot of product. So I had to use a lot of product to get it to look this way. My biggest tests are going to be around my nose because I've been having a lot of issues on the corners here with things building up and not blending. And I've been having issues on the bridge of my nose when I've done my powder and contour, where it's not oxidization, but the foundation literally starts to like break away, and you can see my skin and you can see the foundation breaking apart. I've been having that with my Tarte foundation for a couple weeks, so I need to see if it was the foundation or something else. So we'll see if this foundation does that. I'm going to go ahead and put on my concealer now, and I'm going to start out using the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Fair, so I'm not going to use a lot of it because this is more of my brightening shade. And I'm just going to use this as the base because it's a little bit more full coverage. So put a little dab here, there, there, and swipe across my face. And then rather than doing it in 2 steps, I'm just going to mix them today. I'm going to use the NYX in shade 01, which is more like my skin tone concealer. So recently I've been having issues where when I put my concealer on, my foundation will break away, and it doesn't look like it's doing that, so that's good. It looks like the concealer is blending in really well to the foundation. And the nose did blend in nicely for now. It is still breaking away, so I have to really pack it into each other. Okay. So right now that doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's blending really well. And I'm going to go ahead. I want to test out how it reacts to baking. So I'm going to bake this eye, but then I'm only going to set this eye. So I'm not going to like fully build up the powder. And I'm using the Airspun Loose Face Powder to do this. This is a satin matte foundation, so I'm not looking to have like a dewy finish. I'm hoping that it really does look like skin. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, and I will check back with you guys when this is all done. Alright guys, so my makeup is done, and I'm really enjoying how everything is settling with this foundation. My skin really looks like skin. It doesn't look like I have anything caked on or anything like that, and it is covering fairly well. There were a couple places where it started coming away, like I had a little patch here after I used my setting spray, so I'm not really sure what that's about. My nose was a little weird when I was doing my contour, so I need to see if maybe there's something wrong with the primer or if I should be using a primer, because I was noticing more issues on this side of my nose than the primed side. Other than that, I do like how it's feeling. It doesn't feel suffocating or anything. It does feel very light on the skin, and I did use a lot. And I think it looks good. I think it looks really nice. I'm going to take a look at it in a couple different lightings and see how it is, and then I will do a check back with you when try and do a check back. Probably it is 10:14 now, so maybe around like 1, 2 o'clock, I'll try and do a check back with you, and then we'll see if I can do little check backs while I'm at work and then after work. So I started my makeup around 9:15ish. It's now 10:15 and I have to be at work by 11, and then I'll do a check back in a couple hours. So I'll see you guys soon. Wow, the lighting is actually pretty good in here. Okay, so I'm on my break and I'm going to do a check-in with my foundation. So from far away, it looks pretty good. It looks like skin still. It doesn't look like it's breaking apart anywhere, and it's still wearing really nicely. I don't feel like it's like sticking into my skin. Like, you know how sometimes when you wear really full, like thick foundations, you can feel it getting into your pores throughout the day? Even on the side that I don't have primed, it feels good, and I actually feel like it looks better on this side. I also put less blush on this side, so that might be why, but there's something about this side of my face that I feel like looks better. It just looks less. So getting up close, let's see, it is starting to break apart around my nose and on my cheeks a little bit, but that's okay. I am getting little nose things from my glasses, so don't mind that. My forehead, it does look like it's breaking apart on my forehead a little bit, but it doesn't look horrible. It's not like clinging to my pimples too badly. It is starting to dry out a little bit, so I'm probably going to go ahead and spray my face with my setting spray just to rejuvenate everything for the last couple hours that I'm here. But I am really happy with how it sits. I wasn't sure about it when I was starting to use it, but I'm actually really happy with it as it's wearing. I'm not feeling sweaty or looking sweaty, and that's really good. I don't know if I had oily skin if it would be different, but it's hot in the store. I am definitely sweating, so I'm glad that my face doesn't reflect that, and that's the powder and the foundation with that. So overall, this is, what time is it? It is 4:30, so it's been 11, 12, 1, 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. It's been 6 hours. And this is what it looks like. So on like a normal day, like I would probably wear my makeup for about 6 hours. My break is over. I would probably wear my makeup for 6 hours. So I'm really happy with this. And I still have another 4 hours to go. Alright guys, so I am doing my last check back with you, and my makeup has been on for 11 hours. It is 9:30 at night. It has been between 10 and 11 hours since I put my foundation on, and it has been through the ringer. It is starting to get to that point where I just want to take my makeup off, so I knew I had to film this last clip. But if I like relax and don't think about the fact that it feels that way, I actually really like how this foundation feels. It's still really light on my skin. It's sinking in because it's the 11th hour, but it didn't cling to my dry patches too badly. Just when my skin started to dry out, I am having some breakage on my nose here, where my glasses were and things like that. But looking at my cheek here, where it had like the least amount of wear and tear, it looks great. Like it looks like it did when I applied it this morning. Everything's intact, everything's blended. It's the same color as my neck, and the lighting in here isn't my skin color, so it's still matching all the way down. And even looking at this cheek too, like my cheeks, the center of my forehead's a little wonky because that's where I've been sweating, but like my temples look good. My chin has a little bit of breakage, but I mean, I've been resting my hand on my chin all day. And it looks really good. So I'm just going to need to see if I end up breaking out from the foundation, because that's going to be the last test, but I won't know for about 2 weeks. But you'll get to see whether I put this in a hit or miss video. And right now, as far as I can tell, I really like this foundation. It did not oxidize. It really exceeded my expectations that I had from the moment I put it on. My only thing is I'm going to have to see in better lighting how much foundation I really do need to put on my skin, because I'm worried I put more on than I needed to because I was in bad lighting this morning. So when I'm back at school and I have my real light in front of me, I'll be able to test that out. But right now, I really like this foundation. I'm going to put a link down below to where you can get it. I got it at Target, and it was only $13. So for $13, you do get a lot of product, and you get a pretty good product too. I would definitely call this a satin matte. This looks like my skin. It's not dewy. You can make it dewy by putting stuff into it if you wanted to, but I do like foundations that look more like skin. If you used a less mattifying powder, the Airspun powder really mattifies the skin, I've found. If you use a powder that's a little bit more full coverage or something like that, that's really just going to set your foundation, then you're definitely not going to get a completely matte set finish, which is nice. And I do really like that, especially for the winter time, rather than a dewy or a full matte finish. The satin matte is one of my favorite finishes on skin. And especially for me, I have dry patches, I have rosacea, I have acne, and the satin matte really helps me not look like a dry mess, but not look crazy oily either. So it's a good in-between. My skin looks like skin, everything settles nicely, and it's great. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you liked this video. If you want to see me test out more things, let me know what I should test out down below. I'm looking at getting the LA Girl or LA Color $10 foundation, because a lot of people have been raving about it, so I wanted to see if I could get that in sometime before Christmas or a little after Christmas. And I'm looking to try their concealers too, so I might have another tested out foundations video coming for you soon. If there are any other products that you want me to try out like this, let me know. I do like filming these videos. I have a lot of fun seeing how things wear throughout the day, especially since a lot of my days are long, especially when I'm at school. So I do have a good opportunity to test out things in like crazy intense situations, because if I just had this foundation going for a night out or just hanging out with my friends like at a nice dinner party or something, I would definitely gravitate towards this because I know it's going to look good the entire time. But now I'm just rambling. So if you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. All my social media is going to be down there as well, my Instagram and my Twitter, so you can go ahead and follow me down there also. If you have any questions about anything that is on my face, I'm going to link it down in the description box below, or you can ask me in the comments. And don't forget, you can comment or tweet me or comment me on Instagram videos that you would like to see in the future. Make sure you're keeping up with my Vlogmas videos. I have 2 more coming for you, the last one and the one I'm filming right now, and the one for the last couple days of Christmas. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Happy holidays, and I'll see you soon. Bye!